Hello, and welcome to my library. I am Christopher, and with me
I'm Jonathan.
is my brother Jonathan on my show, because I just couldn't leave him out of this discussion. We apologize for the roundabout 2-week hiatus. Just school caught up with all three of us. You know,
Yes.
Benjamin's not here, but there.
Yes,
That way.
far away.
Yeah. So before we begin... Wow, this is actually hot this time.
Yes, it is hot.
I like it. They're also very full.
Yes, they are.
So the subject for today, and it's a little bit late, about a month and a half after the fact, but I really wanted to add my voice to, I don't know if there's quite been a conversation. It's not really a big secret that I tend, right now, I am avoiding the Star Wars fandom conversation because I am a little bit... I'm tired of the negativity in a lot of fandoms, and I'm tired in people, you know, calling for something that they didn't get and saying, oh, well, they ruined it because they didn't give us this, or they ruined it because they did this instead of this. And I'm tired of all the negativity. But I did want to talk about the ending of Dark Horse Comics' run on Star Wars, a run that has been going for over 25 years.
Yes. I have really enjoyed what Dark Horse Comics has done. I think they did a really good job with Star Wars.
Yeah. I'm holding it in my hand, and it's probably a little shiny because of the light, because I have it in a protective sleeve. I have all my comics bagged and boarded. But this is the final issue of Dark Horse's run. They still are publishing a few more books, but those are the trade paperbacks that collect the individual issues. So this is the final individual issue. It's Star Wars Legacy, the second volume of it, issue 18, and that was released on August 27th. So you can see we're a little bit after the fact.
Yeah.
The first of the two trade paperbacks that were published after this one actually were just last week. Darth Maul, Son of Dathomir, which finishes up which was adapted from unproduced screenplays for season 6 of the Clone Wars, and basically finishes up Darth Maul's storyline. This is what the writers had planned on being the end of Darth Maul's story. And also Star Wars Volume 3, Rebel Girl, which collects issues 15 to 18. Those are the final issues of... no, they're not the final issues, because there's Volume 4 over here. 15 to 18, which is a middle section of the final issues of Dark Horse's Star Wars title, which was published in the last year that they were running. Coming... actually tomorrow, because October 8th is tomorrow.
I think, yes.
Yes. Coming tomorrow is Star Wars Rebel HEIST, which was a 4-part miniseries, which I was particularly excited to see finishing out Dark Horse's line of titles. That was very fun. I will be honest, I am very behind in my reading because of school and work. I just haven't had the time to sit down and now read what's like a year's worth of comics. But I have kept up with collecting them. I have every single individual issue published by Dark Horse. I don't have all the alternate covers, but I have a couple of them. But every single regular individual issue from when I started collecting, which was roundabout when Star Wars Legacy number 50 was published, when that title was wrapping up, until now, which is about 3-4 years worth of comics. And I'll show you in a bit the size of my collection. And it's just a testament to how good Dark Horse Comics' run was. In a week from now, Star Wars Legacy 2 Volume 4, the trade paperback titled Empire of One, will collect the last issues of Star Wars Legacy Volume 2. They basically, what they did was they brought back the Legacy title and told a different story set a little bit later after that. Which they kind of did already with Legacy War, which basically was finishing up. But they brought back Knights of the Old Republic for Knights of the Old Republic War. So, but I'm kind of happy that they ended their run with an original trilogy series. Actually, 2 original trilogy series, a Clone Wars continuation, and then what, at least in the Legends timeline, was set the very, very latest in the timeline. And also next week is Star Wars Volume 4, Shattered Hope, and that collects issues 13, 14, 19, and 20, and the 2012 Free Comic Book Day Star Wars issue. And that will finish up the individual trade paperbacks coming from Dark Horse. They do have one last little special treat in that they have, on November 5th, they are publishing, and this is a big book. It's $99, $100. But the Star Wars Dark Times Gallery Edition. It's a hardcover, it's oversized, it reproduces the original art at full size, and includes the original scripts written for it, and it basically is going to be covering Star Wars Dark Times issue 1 to 5, and giving you this, really I think a never-before-seen look at the, well, not never-before-seen look, but a never-before-seen look in terms of Star Wars comics on the actual process. I think they've done, actually, that's not true, I think they've done a couple other things, but nothing quite as big as this. And it's a nice, it's a nice finish to Dark Horse's publishing, because that's it. And Dark Times was one of the titles that was one of their cornerstone titles that's kept going, keeps getting little mini-series added onto it because it was so good.
Yes.
And it's one of the ones that, oh, Dark Horse, Star Wars, well, Dark Times, you'll think of that one.
I really liked Dark Times, especially Dark Times Blue Harvest.
Blue Harvest was great.
Yes. That was one of my favorite series out of all of what Dark Horse has done.
My favorite series has to be the original Star Wars Blood Ties.
Actually, I would agree with you, but
the art is just incredible. I mean, when I was reading the first issue, there were shots of, there were shots of Jango Fett and Boba Fett flying in the Slave One that I couldn't tell if this was a screenshot from the movie or art. It is just incredible, a painted style art. I also really, really like the Force Unleashed graphic novels because they tell a slightly different story in both of them than is portrayed in the games or
but
is portrayed in the novels.
Especially
Force Unleashed 2 because that tells a Boba Fett story. Other trade paperbacks that I have, I don't have all the trade paperbacks, and I would like to, at least for the individual comics that I don't have, increase that library. And maybe finish out the library eventually. But I have the Old Republic, Volume 1 and 2. These I liked. I was following the Old Republic quite heavily. I haven't gotten to play quite a lot of it because of time. You can only really choose so many hobbies, and when you're a fan of so many things, you kind of have to pick and choose what you're going to devote your energy to at each point.
Within those.
Crimson Empire 3.
That was a good series.
It was. But for me personally, I don't think that I liked it nearly as much as a lot of other people did. It was very interesting, but it did have a sort of a 90s feel. It's more close to Dark Empire, which I particularly don't like. So see, there's good things and bad things, at least in my opinion, about Dark Horse's run on Star Wars. So a true treasure in my collection
Yes.
is and I'm kind of sad that they haven't published the rest of them, but you know, maybe Marvel will.
That would be neat.
But the special edition of the Clone Wars online webcomics, which that's kind of redundant. Online webcomic.
That is kind of redundant.
Online
but it
comic
works.
or webcomic. Anyway, I am just really happy to have gotten these, especially these, because these were all every week. This is the season 1 webcomics. Every week they had a different artist drawing them, and you can see how they're all different, you know, styles. You have Legend of
Really
Chance and Dula, which is
realistic.
really
Yes.
realistic, and then you flip back just a little bit, and you have another Chamsundula one, but it's done by, I think this one is Katie Cook. No, it's Grant Gould. Where's the Katie Cook one? I know she did one. Another Grant Gould. Grant Gould is a great artist, but it's a more cartoony style, a little more stylized.
I really like that.
But he is.
Shot.
Oh, this one. This one's done by Katie Cook, and you can tell
Yeah.
her style. I love her little her chibi
Eyes.
chibi Chewbacca. I particularly
Yes.
like. I love my comics. I collect comic books, especially Star Wars. I'm kind of picky on the other comics that I collect because you know.
Well,
You know, $4 or $5 an
Halo,
issue. It doesn't seem
yeah.
that much, but it adds up.
It does.
Halo, I've strictly collected because I've gotten all the variant covers for all of those, which I'm happy about. As far as I know, I have all the variant covers. I don't think that they do like 6 variant covers like Marvel does.
no.
Black Widow, but we're talking about Dark Horse.
Yes.
Some other Dark Horse series that are your favorites.
Let's see. I really liked. Honestly, all of the ones that I have really liked, we have covered here. Like,
Yeah.
I liked the what was the one about the Yuzon Vong?
Invasion.
Yes, I liked that series mostly, but I think that by the end it was kind of meandering a little bit.
They did sort of just stop
Mm-hmm.
with that one. Have you read the original Legacy and the original Knights of the Old Republic comics?
I've read some of the Knights of the Old Republic. I have not read all of Legacy.
Okay. Those are 2 that are particularly good, especially the first big story arc of Zane Carrick, and when he finally defeats the corrupt Jedi Masters who are trying to hunt him down. That storyline, which encompassed a huge portion of Knights of the Old Republic, and then the series kept going, but I thought that first one was the best of it all. Then they kept going, and some of it was good. Like the ending, I liked, but and I'll have to reread War and see how that ties in because it felt kind of jarring, tacked on to the end. But yeah, Star Wars Republic, Star Wars Dark Times, Star Wars Empire, Star Wars Rebellion. All of the Knights of the Old Republic Legacy. Those are kind of the 6 pillars of the Dark Horse story, and I really enjoyed Dark Horse's run. It really did reinvigorate my Star Wars fandom, but I haven't gotten rid of them. I'm still keeping these.
Yes.
I think there are 300 or 400 comics over there. I still have them all, and I'm still going to read them, and reread them, even though now they have become the stuff of legend. But I'm also really excited to see where Marvel takes the line, because the Marvel comics that I've been reading have been fantastic.
Yes. I'm really enjoying all
Black
of the
Widow,
Winter-
everyone. Black Widow is just amazing.
I really like the Winter Soldier comics. I
Yeah.
think Bitter March, Winter Soldier Bitter March, was a really good comic. and so was that other series.
What other series?
I don't remember which one.
The other Winter Soldier series?
Yeah, we have a couple, but it's one of
Yeah.
the others. When
Okay.
Black Widow gets captured.
Oh, Black Widow Hunt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. That
See?
one was also really good.
We need to go order
like
the big collection.
Yes.
Yeah. And
We
actually
do.
read the original Captain America Winter Soldier
Yes.
comic, which will be interesting because in the original one, Red Skull was in it.
Oh, really?
But anyway, we're kind of ranging far afield.
Yeah.
By the way, I've been hinting that there's going to be something special coming on Friday, and today, right after I finish recording this, I'm going to be going to my local comic book shop, Eclipse Books and Comics, and going to be interviewing Rob Hubbard, who is now the lead designer on the Legend of the Five Rings role-playing game. At the time of the core book, which is all that I have at the moment, he was only one of the designers, but now he has taken on the mantle of lead designer, which I'm very excited about because I have a rules expert right next door. But it also is just fantastic because this is a fandom that I'm trying to devote a lot of energy to because it is so neat in the interaction that the players get to have in the story. So, but that's all the time we have for this video. So, I will see you all next week, hopefully. Well, this Friday, actually. So, for the Poe-Cast, I'm Christopher.
And I'm Jonathan.
Goodbye!
Bye!